All right. Well, welcome you, all of you, to another broadcast from the Taylor Family Association. Today, we're delighted to talk about the use of Legacy Family Tree 9. And Ron is prepared to share with us some things we can do as we open the file for use. So I'll turn the time over to Ron and let him share this instruction with you. Okay, Ron, you're on.
All right. Well, Legacy version 9 has been out for a while. They're actually up to subversion 217. That means there's been 217 releases of various forms of version 9 since its initial release. And they're finally at the point where it's starting to become stabilized. Not very many updates have been made in the last couple or 3 weeks. So that's one of the reasons why I say it's become stabilized a little bit better instead of having changes every day. So the main thing you need to realize about version 9 is that it is the software that is being worked on right now. They're no longer working on version 8 or obviously version 7 and before that. Those are all frozen in time. They will not be worked on again. So version 9 is where they're pouring in all of their effort. Version 9 has quite a few different new things that they've included in it. One of the major things is the ability to automatically provide hints to people in your database. And those hints are generated based on things that Legacy is able to link to through several other companies. Some of the major players. Let me show you. I'm gonna first of all call up the sample file so that we won't be connected to any real data, and I'm going to share that on screen, if it will.
While you're pulling that up, Ron, these hints come from various sources, you said, and so some of them may be free, and others a person has got to have a membership in order to really effectively use those hints, right?
The free version of Legacy 9 includes all the software that we're talking about, but in order to see those deluxe features, you have to buy a membership to Legacy, which I think it's still about $29.
Well, with the manual, I think it was like something like 34, but we need to remind the members of the association that the Taylors get a 25% discount with the Taylor coupon, and if you would like to, they can certainly talk to me, and I can provide them that code.
Correct. That will help them a little bit. So here's just the sample file that comes with Legacy. I'm going to show you where this Hints Pro option is. So if you go to Options, then Customize. Under the Customize, on category number 8 is called View. And if you go down to number 13, so you're looking at 8.13, it has one checkbox here that tells you that whether or not to show the hints on screen, but the main one is underneath it. It says select background hints. These background hints will be running even if you're not showing them on the screen. So if you don't want it to do background hints, you need to uncheck the ones in here. So you got My Heritage, Family Search, Find My Past, and Genealogy Bank. So far, they will most likely add additional ones to this category as they debug each one of them. So for example, if we wanted to do My Heritage Hints, we can turn that on right there. And that's going to start doing hints in the background, even without you noticing it. And they've got their policies and stuff here. Let's do family search also. Family search, I think I can put this in.
This is your free account that you're putting in, right?
The family search, you can, even if you're not a member of the church, you can get a family search account for free. And they encourage everybody to do that. So you have to put in your family search login right here in order to have the hints generated for family search. Okay, and I'm going to save those. So now that I've got those hints set up in the background, I can click on this box to do hints. And those hints now will show up on screen. So I'm going to hit save.
10 minutes when I finish the recording. Okay, I wanted to have you book on, but
And
you missed the recording of the podcast that was wanting.
there's one right there that's found already. So there's a hint for Nathan Brown. There's another one. There's 2 hints for Eleanor Huffman. And down here on Joshua Marston Brown, it shows 9+. So then when you get more than 9, they just add a plus sign instead of showing that you've got 300 or whatever. Anything greater than 9, they'll say 9+. So to look at those hints, let's do Joshua Marston Brown right here. So I click on the hints, and My Heritage shows that they found 26 hints. 0 of them have been confirmed yet, and 0 of them have been rejected. So at this point, nobody's worked on them in this particular computer. So I click on that, and it goes directly to My Heritage, and it shows us the matches. It shows that you're logged in, and it shows the matches for Joshua Marston Brown, and it shows his detail. And then at this point, I can say review the match. And if that one looks like the right guy, and it does, I'm going to come down here to the bottom. You can see there's a lot of information. Down here at the bottom, I'm going to say confirm that that's a match. Okay? Now when we go back, we can see that the match, let's see that first one, there it is. This first one now has been confirmed. See the green check mark. And you could review that if you wanted to make sure that it was right. If you checked it, and didn't realize that it was the wrong one. But you can do that with each one of these matches, confirm them or reject them, and perhaps pick up additional information on each one of these people.
So you need to be very careful as you're reviewing these to be sure that they are have valid information, maybe even sources, right?
Correct. Yeah, you don't want to copy bogus information into your legacy database, because then it might get spread to other people, especially if this information is part of somebody's slice. You would send them bogus information, and they would perhaps distribute it to all of their people. So you always want to make sure the data is right. So that's how the hints work. But you need to realize that hinting is taking place on 2 levels. It's doing it in the background, and it will show it on screen if you check the other box. So regardless of whether you check the on-screen box, hinting is still happening in the background if you've told it to.
So I understood that it will automatically begin hinting unless you disconnect it, right?
Yeah, let me show you how to disconnect it. It's just the reverse of what we just did. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to go to Options, Customize, back down to number 8.13, and I'm going to turn off that box. But then the most important is in here. You have to turn it off in here if you don't want it to be working on hinting in the background. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to save that. Now hinting is turned off for My Heritage. It's still turned on in the background for Family Search. I can turn each one of those off.
So our recommendation to our members, Ron?
Well, the most important thing to realize is that if you open up the master file, then you are automatically in breach of our contract to not reveal things on the internet for people that we've collected data on, because it will begin hinting immediately.
So we recommend that they will disconnect before they use their slice.
It's up to them. It's up to our slicers whether they want to get hints. But for the master database, we definitely do not want that one available for hinting on the data on the internet.
Okay. So we're empowering our slicers to make the decisions about how much they use the hinting feature as they're gathering information about their descendants.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we use the hinting service on our own database and then cut the slice out to send in to the tailors, to Ron, that doesn't have anything to do with whether we've used the hinting? You're still not using it on the main database.
We would copy the data that you've, as a slicer, you are the authority on that slice. So whatever you did to collect the data is up to you.
Okay. That's a very, very important point.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ron, for sharing this. We will distribute this, make it available. I'll email it to all of our members to let them know that we're now going to use Windows Legacy Family Tree 9, and to encourage them to watch this short video. Thank you very much for doing this for us, Ron.